We're talking about practice, and we're looking at the Indianapolis Colts today. We got a big battle between Anthony Richardson and Danny Dimes, and the Colts keep dropping a clip of each quarterback every day to keep us on the edge of our seat. We're going to go over all the clips from this week and early last week, but before we dig in, you need to click that subscribe button right now because we're going over rookie camp clips, OTAs, minicamp clips, training camp, workout clips. So you can see what your players are doing behind the scenes. You want to see what your rookies are doing? It's here. You want to see what your vets are doing? It's here. Click that button. Stop missing out. We are looking at the battle of a lifetime here. A battle between two quarterbacks here. Danny Dimes and Anthony Richardson. 2 minutes of clips here. A lot of slow-mos. We'll loop this and keep talking ball. There we go. There's old Downs. There's old Downs right there. Here we come, Danny Dimes. We covered some of these before, but they're all together in a montage. They drop another one every day. There's Michael Pittman. And Anthony Richardson has started sporting the specs. I think that means he's locked in. There it is again, look. Got the specs on. We're locked in. There we go. I want to see what it looks like with a helmet on. Alec Pierce had a big season last year. There's Danny Dimes. He's looking really serious. Old Tyler Warren right there, live and in the flesh. Old 84. Solid number. Solid number. For a very reliable tight end. He's a rookie, but we know. There we go again. Danny Dimes again. Pushing out there. Pushing it out there. Slow-mo throw. Another Alec Pierce look with the headband on. We got the goggles on, though. Goggles on for Anthony Richardson. Nice spiral coming in. Looking solid. Here's another Danny Dimes. Slow-mo. Slow-mo style coming in. We're getting there eventually. More Josh Downs action coming at you. This is one of the newer ones. There we go. Here's another one. I'll say I've seen this one before. Ball comes out quick. Looking good. Looking solid. Just practice. Goggles up. Look at it. Look at that. Another one. No goggles this time. See, the ball's different. There we go. Downfield. Look at that, man. A.D. Mitchell. You got speed. 4.3 speed right there. 4.3 speed. See him take a step forward this year. But we're looking at this quarterback battle. And hopefully this just pushes Anthony Richardson just to get better. Hopefully he steps it up this year. We're not a very experienced quarterback prospect to begin with. We're just not. Hopefully, with the experience we got now, with what we got to build off of, which, honestly, statistically, what we see on tape, he's had some bad moments. He had some moments where he showed that upside. Hopefully, we take a step forward. However, if not, Danny Dimes is there. Danny Dimes is there. If Danny Dimes wins the job, you might get an okay season out of the Colts this year. There's a chance, considering the weapons you have. Because if you really think about these weapons here, like Jonathan Taylor stays healthy, these wide receivers, like Josh Downs, if he can stay healthy, and we're clicking with Michael Pittman, and we're stretching to feel good, Pierce and A.D. Mitchell, Warren steps it up, we develop fast. Sometimes it takes a couple years for a tight end, even a first rounder. If everything comes together, you might have a decent season. I just don't see Super Bowl in your works, though. Not with Danny Dimes there. Danny Dimes a few years ago wasn't horrible, but then it was that year with the ACL injury. Then the year after, it were kind of not so good, plus ramping back up from that. Maybe 2025 is the year we get back on course, but on course for him is okay. See what you can get out of him. Because if it's neck and neck, maybe you start tapping into that upside and maybe it just clicks even more in season. Maybe you get to that if it's neck and neck. Because you do have the juice, you do have the upside with that. I think Danny Dimes is going to push him. One way, he's either going to push him out or push him forward. If he pushes forward, that might be enough for him to rejuvenate his career. Honestly, if he does not win this quarterback battle, that's it for his career. He's not really... He has the experience. And everything else, the tape hasn't been looking good. Numbers hasn't been there. However, if you're playing spreadsheet football, What I mean by spreadsheet football, if you're just playing Madden, you just look at these two guys, you look at the age and everything else, and you're just playing this as a simulation, and you do not have like coaching jobs on the line. You're looking at multiple years. You're looking at it spreadsheet football style. You would look at it like, man, I just roll Anthony Richardson, and I'm either going to get him to step up or we get our new quarterback next year. I think Daniel Jones might be able to backdoor you to the playoffs. Maybe. That there's a big if there. But I think he might get you only a few more wins than Anthony Richardson. If he wins you a Super Bowl, I'd delete this channel. I can't bet on that. I can't bet on that. I know a Super Bowl is not in the horizon. Can I say that with Anthony Richardson? I can say that if we step it up, you might have your long-term quarterback. But if he doesn't, you're going quarterback the next year. And he might be. And you're looking at Danny Dimes. I never liked him as a prospect. I never thought. I think this is a battle where you're just hoping Anthony Richardson steps up and gets better. If not, it may not be a great year. It may not be a great year. The ultimate upside play, the upside move for the Colts here in this situation is if Danny Dimes can push Anthony Richardson forward. Because if you're rolling with Danny Dimes with what you got, you're hoping to just backdoor the playoffs. You're hoping that. You're praying for that. It's going to be a tough year. It's going to still be a tough year, but he's good enough to do that. But that's an if too. And if you do not backdoor those playoffs, it's going to be more years without getting a quarterback. It's going to be more years without finding a quarterback. Where Anthony Richardson, it's either you put up, shut up, or get that. There's upside to him failing. I think if it's tight, it could be tight in the quarterback battle in training camp. It could get there. If it's tight, I would lean Richardson. But if Dimes blows him away, I understand because that could happen. That seems iffy, but I'm also just talking in all spectrums here. Yeah, when I look at Danny Dimes, you're going to have a decent facilitator of the football. I think better than what a lot of people think from New York, but I don't think it's going to be good enough to get you over the hump. I think your best bet is to pray left and right that Anthony Richardson taps into that upside soon. Tap into that arm strength. Tap into his maneuverability. Just start tapping into that. That's what I believe. If he doesn't, it ain't going to be looking pretty. It ain't going to be looking pretty. It ain't going to be looking good. If I had to guess who's going to win it, I bet you, I'm not going to bet. That would be my guess. Rich, 3 to 5 games. Then we're going to Dimes. My guess, it's going to be tight. My guess, it's going to look good. I think Anthony Richardson's definitely going to give him a good run for his money. I think it's going to be a tight one. I think it's going to be tight through training camp. That is my take. It's going to be tight. It's going to be a tight fight. I talked all this circles. It's going to be a tight fight between the two quarterbacks. It's going to be tight. And it's going to come to a head in the joint practices. Whoever wins it, whoever looks better in the joint practices, that's who's going to win the job. You think preseason this, but joint practices are like an extension of that because those teams are practicing together and there's just more looks, just more reps. Everything's at a faster tempo. They get the better field in. The joint practices are going to get it, and if it's still tight, the preseason. But the joint practices are it. That's when you're going to figure it out. That's when you're going to figure out your starter. Just read those blurbs from them. Let me know what you think in the comments below. I want to hear about that. Make sure you hit that subscribe button on the way out. One thing for watching. Catch you on the next video.